This podcast is part of the Deluxe Edition Network. To find other great shows on the network, head over to deluxeeditionnetwork.com. That's deluxeeditionnetwork.com.
Hello, this is Igoro, host of the Igoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show presented by thestevestrout.com. I am Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. We are on episode 120. And before we get into the couple subjects we have for this week, we, of course, want to cover our bases as we always do and let you guys know where you can get more content. And that is patreon.com. So go to patreon.com/Steve Crypto and you can check out more content from your third favorite podcast. And we have a variety of things over there, from unboxing videos to spoiler talk, movie spoiler talk. We've covered Evil Dead Rise, Scream 6, recently The Flash and Transformers.
Yeah, those are bad.
So if you don't really care about the outcome of those movies, or you've already seen them and just want to hear our banter on those films, then go ahead and check that out at Patreon. And there's an assortment of other things there as well. Patreon.com/Steve Crypto. Also, if you are feeling generous and you would like to help out our show in many, many ways, you can buy us a coffee, metaphorically. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto, and all contributions go towards just covering anything that's related to the show. So merchandise costs, the entry fees for conventions that we've been to just to promote our show, all sorts of things involving the podcast. Again, go to buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto. And if you would like to leave a review, you can be sure to visit any streaming site, any one of them that allow you to leave a review. Most of them do. Spotify or Amazon. Yeah, Apple.
We're not on Amazon, sorry, but Apple.
Not
the
Amazon.
other A. The other A that rules the world.
That's the one. Yeah, go to the Apple Podcast, leave a review. We greatly appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who has left a review so far. Also, if you want to pick up some merch from us, you can visit our Etsy store, which is Etsy/shop/Steve and Crypto merch, or just look up the Steve and Crypto Show and you'll find us. We have 2 t-shirt designs. We have a coffee mug. We have a magnet for your fridge. Also, if you would like some stickers, just answer some horror trivia. Just, give us an answer from any of the episodes of probably the last 60 episodes at least. We've done trivia, or most of them. I think we might have skipped 1 or 2 here or there. But the best way to find out is just go and listen to every episode from the past. And then eventually you'll hit the ones with the trivia and just say, hey, episode 112. It was Jason's mother. And then we'll send you a sticker pack.
But you got to at least have the right answer.
Yeah.
Don't just make something up.
Like, that was a Gremlins trivia question, I believe.
Where can they find us on social media?
You can find us at CryptoZoo88, at the Steve Strout, on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that. And we also have a Facebook group, which we greatly encourage you to join, whether you have your own project or not. If you just want to kind of get the inside scoop on new things that are coming out. It's a cool group to follow, as there's a lot of independent artists in there, people that are making films and whatnot. But especially for those that do have something they want to promote, we encourage you to do so. Share a clip of your movie trailer. Share a song that you're working on. Basically, if it's pop culture related and it's not religious or political, then we welcome it.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that about sums up all the ways you could support this show. Like to repeat, yeah, we have the Patreon, we have the Buy Me a Coffee, we have the Facebook group, and we are on Instagram and Twitter. He's CryptoZoo88. I am the Steve Strout. All this info will be in the show notes, so make sure to check us out. Keep supporting the show, and you can also support some of our friends over at the Deluxe Edition Network. It is
many cool. Oh, so sorry, many cool podcasts over there.
He's correct. That was not a trivia question, so he's not getting a sticker for that. But he was correct. So yeah, it's a collective of at least 20 podcasts. I haven't done a count lately. All independent shows, but we're all there together to promote each other and hype each other and help each other's shows grow. It's at deluxeeditionnetwork.com. You could go there, support these shows, especially this month's podcast of the month for July. There is Growing Up Bananas and In a Pickle. Personally, I haven't listened to either of these shows, but hearing good things, and if they're part of the Deluxe Edition Network, they got to be good.
Yeah, I haven't listened yet, but I need to get on it.
So head over there, deluxeeditionnetwork.com, find In a Pickle and Growing Up Bananas, among a bunch of other shows, including Stephen Crypto Show. Support. You can find the info to listen to them. You could find them on any of the streaming apps or anything, Apple, Spotify, any of that stuff. Most of these shows are on there as well, but all that info is at deluxeeditionnetwork.com. So head over there, support some of them shows. Maybe you'll find a new podcast that you enjoy. Can't replace your third favorite podcast, which is us, of course. But yeah, Deluxe Edition Network. Go do that and go visit all those other spots to support this podcast, particularly. And so last episode. Keep forgetting, it's time flies. It feels like a week ago. Last episode
was not last week.
Yeah, it feels like a week ago because time just flies. But we talked to an indie filmmaker, director, writer, producer, distributor named Ron Bunk of SRS Cinemas. He puts out a ton of indie horror films, including some that we might be involved in. We'll see. Stay tuned for that stuff. But go back and check out that episode, learn about him, support what he's doing, and support all the great indie filmmakers out there doing their thing. Even if they're not all supportive of each other, which I'm just gonna throw that comment out there, and sure Crypto caught my shot there, but we'll leave that at that. Go listen to that episode. Ron Bonk's awesome. He's a super supportive guy of everybody. But
yeah, you can actually find a lot of his films at Walmart. I was looking for them, and I was just looking for like the SRS Productions or a logo that might have looked familiar to me, or his name in the credits. I wasn't finding any myself, but I know they're out there. So just support indie horror.
You'll have more luck on the Walmart website.
Yeah.
With his stuff. But they distribute through there. Some do turn up in stores, but you do better through that. So that's what we went up to. We had a few things like we are. Like you've been following me on social media. I posted that we're a little delayed. We had a few things lined up. Uh, Circumstances kind of postponed and canceled some things. Health issues with a guest we had lined up. Hopefully he's doing better. Yeah, so we figured we'd take this opportunity to chat for a few minutes and tell you guys what we've been up to. It's been quite a busy time. Like it kind of sucks when we have like a little hiatus from the show, but sometimes it's good to take a little break for the mental stuff, you know, because real life work and shit is a pain in the ass, and I don't want those stresses to kind of bleed over into the show. So it's like, all right, we'll stretch out this little break between episodes and get refocused, which is what's happening. So we're gonna tell you a couple things we've been up to, a couple relevant things. I mean, we've been up to a lot, obviously, like working and shit, but we've managed to have a little bit of fun in the last handful of days. But before we get into that stuff, it is freaking July already.
Yeah.
And obviously a big part of what we're into is spooky shit in the Halloween season, which is like right around the corner. So of course, you know, come July, August, you start seeing all the reports about Halloween decor trickling into stores and everything. And I know you heard about some stuff last week and went looking. I heard about some other things at some local places, and I kind of went looking a little bit too. I didn't have as much luck, I think, as you did. Like my first thing I heard that the Silverdale Home Goods had some stuff in.
Well, they must have got picked over.
No, they literally had two items. They had a little espresso shot set with like little ghosts and a jack-o'-lantern, and like they were super cool. I kind of wanted them. I kind of wish I grabbed them, but and they had like hand towels because it's Home Goods, and they always have like the little like the kitchen towel sets with the Halloween stuff. And I was like,
we have a couple of them.
Yeah, we got some for sure, but it was kind of disappointing. Yeah. I was really hoping, because I keep seeing a lot, you know, like we follow the group that Jay DeLibra started, the Halloween Forever group on Facebook, and there's all these people posting like, we found this, we found that, you know, fucking Code Orange at blah blah blah, and it's like,
yeah,
I go looking and it's like, I found a shitty towel that's like a witch with like sparkles. Like, I don't want a fucking sparkly Halloween towel, personally.
Or it's just a plain towel that says boo or something like that, and you're like, well, I need a little bit more pizzazz than that.
Oh, like that whole
what's that
series that people were obsessed with?
What is that company again?
Yeah, the fucking Ray Dunn shit.
Ray Dunn, yeah.
Yeah, and there was so like people were like obsessed with that for a couple of years. Hopefully that phase is over. I mean,
I hope so.
It's just a fucking font. It was a font. That font on anything. They were slapping on anything. They like,
I don't need something to be super flashy, but at the same time, I don't want it to be super basic. You know, give me some middle ground.
You know what though? Fucking shout out to that company for fucking hustling everybody. And making a fucking shit ton of money.
Yeah, off of some basic shit.
I feel like that stuff made more money in the aftermarket, though.
I think so.
Yeah, because that's weird, and it's like a crazy fucking world that there's like Halloween decor flippers. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's gotten crazy. I feel like the internet's ruined a lot of cool stuff, like collecting anything. The internet's ruined it because everybody sees other people making money, so they automatically think that they're gonna make money and have some fucking treasures, and then they go and out and they fucking hoard all this shit, and then nobody buys it, and they get stuck in a bunch of shit.
This is just loosely related to Halloween decor. Um, when I was a kid, well, not a kid, but when I was like a teenager, late teens, my parents got rid of our Halloween decorations. They gave them to a family friend, and they're good people. And I wasn't going to be a dick and ask for it back, but my parents didn't think I would be upset about it. I was legit mad. Like,
I would have ran away from home.
Yeah, like I mean, it would have been okay if it was Christmas decor. I enjoy Christmas, but Halloween is number one. And so like, I wasn't like really upset about it externally, but internally I was like, no, I'm
You
not
should
kidding. I'm pissed off.
you should have packed your
They're-
bag. You should have packed your Ninja Turtle backpack with all the
And my
shit you need and left.
I put my boombox up with the Sad Hulk music playing, thumb out.
Yeah. You see
Yeah.
little Caleb walking down the road with like one of like the little hobo satchels, like the little stick with like the little all your shit tied up in a bag. Like,
It wouldn't be like that. I'd be dragging like a big old mattress sheet, like just full of a bunch of shit. Like I'm not leaving my Funko Pops behind.
yeah, but you didn't have them when you were little and they threw away your Halloween
that's
stuff.
true.
You
True,
talk about
true.
running away from your family now. I'm sure it crosses your mind sometimes.
so it
but
wasn't Funko Pops back then. It was like Ninja Turtles or something.
yeah,
Like I can't leave all these Ninja Turtles behind.
so yeah, you said you guys went on a little adventure
Yeah,
a little while back. Found a little bit,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. We actually did a little bit of research and found out that this store called At Home, which the closest one to us is in Puyallup,
There's not one in
Washington.
Tacoma.
Actually, no, I'm sorry, Tacoma. But we went to the Puyallup one for some reason. Um, so there's a Tacoma and Puyallup location, um, roughly like an hour and a half away from where we live. And so we went out that way the same day that you were at SummerCon, which we'll get to talking about later.
Yeah.
And so we went out and looked for these like kind of like ceramic black cats. I don't know if ceramic is the right way to describe it, but there's two black cats. One is sitting on a pumpkin, and the other one is wearing like a little witch hat and
Right.
has like some outfit or whatever. And so they had that one, and we snagged it, and a couple other things from there. Yeah, anybody that is listening that is in Washington, hit up Tacoma and Puyallup At Home locations. They actually do have a small little amount of Halloween stuff worth looking at right now.
I'd say in about a month, shit'll really start hitting.
Yeah,
Like like the places like At Home and like Michaels and Home Goods and those retailers, like places like Target and Walmart. You're gonna wait till after the back to school shit,
yeah.
and then they really start hitting. But most of the other places, you'll start seeing things. Usually,
I want to
in
say
August more.
I want to say someone posted about Joanne Fabrics the other day.
Yeah, I know they started
might have
getting a little bit of
out.
stuff in. I actually have a local friend that told me that she heard directly from somebody that Joanne's is starting to have stuff trickle in.
And you beat me to the punch on mentioning Jade earlier, because I was
Yeah.
already thinking about her when we got into this
Well,
subject. So I was just gonna say, anyone that's listening, if you're not already doing so, follow Halloween Forever, the group that you mentioned. Follow Halloween Forever on Facebook, and you'll get updates with a lot of this stuff that we're talking about. You know, people posting in different areas,
Yep.
what stores are carrying the Halloween decor already, and also just follow Jade Libra, watch her videos on YouTube. She shows off a
Yep.
lot of cool stuff that's in the stores now. She'll go to Home Goods
She goes
and bring
every fucking where.
she'll bring her friend Mr. Skeleton along with her, and
Yep.
they'll go on adventures. And if you want to hear about some of that, you could also listen to our episode with her if you haven't done so. Just go back into the archives, and she's actually been on twice, her and her husband Dallas.
Yeah, a while ago. We should
Yep.
we should connect with them and have them come back again soon. They're
Yeah,
always
they're
fun to
doing-
talk to.
They're on baby duty right now, but give them a little bit of time. Duty.
Baby duty.
But give them a little bit of time, and I'm sure we can get them back on.
Yeah. Well, go find her channel on YouTube. Subscribe to it if you're into all the Halloween decor and stuff like that.
Now she'll be doing
the-
her videos pushing a baby cart.
She's like one of the leaders of the Halloween decor hunting family. She actually just released her preview episode, which she usually puts out around this time, where she mentions what shops usually drop their shit, like when and this and that, all her speculation and stuff, and she's usually pretty fucking on point. So she's one to follow, and definitely watch that episode and take notes if you want to get a jump on your Halloween shit. Which can't come soon enough. I'm ready for Halloween. I want to try to find something good to do for our Halloween episode. I have ideas floating around. If anybody listening has a cool idea that we should try for our Halloween episode, drop one of us a line. I'm kind of open to suggestions. Should we try to get a guest? Should we go out in the field and do something crazy, like fucking go to a haunt or something and record us getting the shit scared out of us, or I don't know, something.
I think we might do that whether they want it or not.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff that might turn up on Patreon. I'm not pissing my
Yeah.
pants for you freeloader, you freeloader listeners. You got to go join the Patreon for as little as $1.
That's what the
a month.
patrons are doing. Their money is contributing to new underwear for Steve.
There you go. There you go.
Good to know
Yeah,
your money
but
is going to a good place.
Good place. You guys want to see Steve piss on himself from getting scared? Subscribe to our Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Steve will shit himself in a haunted house. Oh, no, not really. But it's just ideas. I mean, really, you should go join our Patreon, but not really gonna shit on myself. Hopefully not. If I do,
Hopefully so.
kudos to that haunted house for putting on a damn good show.
That's right.
So you did mention SummerCon, so I guess maybe we should circle back and talk about that, or do you want to talk about your circus?
Well,
Go with the circus because the
yeah, I was
circus
gonna
was
say
first.
you just mentioned like the haunt and
Yeah.
this is kind of a haunted circus. So, there's this event that has been traveling around for a little while now, and it's called Paranormal Cirque, and it's like a R-rated horror circus, and it has a haunted attraction pre-show. They kind of have like this story that goes along throughout the whole show. I'd say it's about a 2-hour event, maybe a little less. And it's a pretty good time. Like if you're into horror and you're into magic and theatrics and
Like
and all-
sideshow stuff and
yeah,
Yeah.
like people swallowing swords
people
and
swallowing.
a girl does swallow swords, many swords.
Yeah.
So if you're into things like that, people juggling, balancing on beams and things like that, it's a fun time. I wouldn't recommend taking the kids to it unless they're maybe like
A little
13
more
or
mature,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, they kind of recommend you at least have them be around 13 or so.
Did you
Um,
notice anybody have kids there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
People brought
Yeah.
their kids. That's cool.
Yeah. we
It's
didn't.
probably yeah, well that's not a good plan. Yeah.
We
They've
have
heard
common
this
sense.
they've heard the stories on here what usually happens when you take the kids somewhere.
Yeah. And I don't think either of them would have been into this. But for you guys that are listening, I definitely recommend checking it out. they're actually going to be in Puyallup soon, I believe, at the fairgrounds.
Oh, really?
Which, yeah, I was trying to find the date for that one. Let me see here. That might have been canceled. Because it's showing them in Bellingham for a while.
Yeah, I seen they were in Bellingham, but
June
I do
29th to July 10th.
I tried to research it a little, not to cut you
Yeah,
off, but
yeah,
it sounds like they have two troops
there
going
are.
around the country,
Yeah,
like around the whole country. So there's like
yeah,
they're working the East Coast, they're working the West Coast,
yeah. They were just
Midwest.
in Colorado for a while,
Right.
while there was the other group out in Auburn. So that's where we went to the show. It
Right.
was right in like the parking lot of the Auburn Mall.
Right.
And so they're actually going to be coming just a little bit closer. They're going to be in Tacoma, July 20th through the 24th.
Okay,
So
where at?
Right in the Tacoma Mall parking lot.
Oh, that's where like they do to set their stuff up in malls, but I guess those are like the big enough parking lots for. Do they have like a tent and like a big top and everything?
Oh yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a circus.
There's a big tent. They have like a big sign that stands up, pretty high up in the air. They have like several trucks, of their gear and
Right.
like the trailers and whatnot. So they definitely take up a bit of space. So it's kind of a good idea to have it where they do.
Hmm.
And they usually do like 2 shows a night.
Right.
So yeah.
Do you have the list available in the cities where they're going to be over the next couple months?
That's what I'm looking at is just their Facebook right now. So Bellingham, they are until July 10th, they are at the Bellis Fair.
Okay.
So you can go check them out there.
Do they have a website?
Yes, you can go to paranormalcirc.com to get all the info on these shows.
Okay.
You can see all the dates and everything.
Okay.
But for our Washington listeners, like they're in the area right now. So yeah, they're in Bellingham until the 10th, and then they're moving on to Tacoma. Well, yeah, they're at Tacoma, July 20th through the 24th, and they're in a lot of different locations. So I would definitely just check out the website and get everything you need to know there.
They should like give us tickets for all the promotion we just gave them. What was, before we move on to the next thing, what was probably the highlight of it for you? Was there a particular act or just the aesthetic of the whole thing, or
yeah, they're all right. So I have to do a little bit of build up here just to get to the moment. So the story that I was mentioning that's kind of throughout the whole show that comes in and out. There was something that happened in there. It was kind of a flub or a mess up, whatever you want to call it. And it made for a good laugh. So these 2 guys are supposed to be like walking in the woods and then they stumble upon something and something may or may not happen to one of them. And then later on, they are, well, I kind of have to say it. One of them is a vampire. And so they're like playing this game show, and the one guy's dressed up with the fangs and a cape, and he goes to like take a step away from his podium, and he kind of trips on something and his teeth fell out. And I don't know if this was for the show or if it was an actual mistake and he just rolled with it. But the whole like area they were standing on was basically just dirt. And and so he's like standing there just staring at the fangs and kind of looking up at the crowd, and he's like, well, you see, folks, when you're doing live comedy, sometimes things don't always play out the way that you hope they do.
Yeah.
And accidents happen. He's like, but you can either let it ruin the show or you just, pick up those fangs and roll with it. And so you just hear people in the crowd, half the crowd's yelling, no, another crowd's yelling, put him in your mouth. And he picked him up, dusted him off, put him back in his mouth, and kept going with the
Ugh.
show.
Is he like spitting out dirt the whole time?
No,
That's funny.
no. So I'd call that probably my favorite moment.
So when they fucked up, your favorite moment is when they fucked up the show. Nice.
Yeah.
Now they're gonna take the free tickets back.
Well, like I said, it
I'm
could
just
have been
kidding.
an intentional thing. He might have just been doing that for the joke. I don't know. But it
Either
also
way,
could
it
have
was
been like
funny.
an accident that he rolled with.
Yeah. Either way, it
Yeah.
sounded like he played it off well. Sometimes
Yeah.
you got to improvise when you're a performer.
Yep.
Like most of the time, this whole show is just an improvisation.
Exactly. We don't write out a script.
It don't always work out, but
Nope.
yes. So yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Look up their website. He mentioned it, and see if it's coming to a town near you, and check that out.
And I swear, from my seat, one of the people up there on stage looked like Lloyd Kaufman.
Yeah,
You know, it's one of those things where like I'm sure it's not him, but my God, like every time I look at the guy, like, and at one point he's just kind of staring right in my direction. That looks like Lloyd Kaufman.
yeah.
Like same height, age, from what I could tell.
He probably looks like any older 70-something old man. They all fucking look alike. No, I'm just kidding.
He was working though.
Yeah. Cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
So now that probably might have been a week later, give or take, is when I went to SummerCon.
Yep.
Which it's like the new big convention in the area. It's kind of starting to grow, and it's for the longest time, Emerald City Comic Con was the biggest show in the area. It was like the go-to. I'm starting to feel like this is becoming better.
Yeah, we're getting SummerCon. We're getting Jet City. Well, now Grit City Comic Show. We have some really cool conventions in our corner of the Northwest.
There's a ton.
Crypticon, of course.
Crypticon. There's the fucking God damn it. What is the name of the town? The Spokane Comic Con. Right. I think it's called Lilac City or something like that. But out in Spokane, it's really big con. It's like the biggest convention in that area, bigger than anything in Idaho or Montana, or you know what I mean? People come up from Utah, and because it's the big show in that area. It's a good show. They actually have a second show, which is a Halloween show, which is going to be happening out there in October, which we'll probably mention more closer to it. But yeah, SummerCon. I went. I honestly almost didn't go.
Why?
But I just wasn't feeling like going to a convention, to be honest. I needed a break from a lot of things, and my friend was like, just come. So I decided literally like a week before that I'm gonna go and check it out, and I went, and I'm kind of glad I did. I of course spent more money than I should have. But I didn't go with the intent of like, I got to meet this guest or that guest. They did have a lot of cool guests. They had a bunch of people from like Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah.
They had people from The Mandalorian. They had Jesse Ventura was there.
Yeah, the girls from Charmed.
A couple of the girls from Charmed were there. Some big cosplayers. Like Yaya Han is a big deal cosplayer. Anamia is an old con friend of mine, is a big cosplayer and well known in pop culture circles. She was there and actually got to spend a little time, hanging with her a little bit and talking about some stuff that she's working on, which we might thinking of inviting her on the show here soon to tell us about some of the things if she gets these gigs that she's trying to do. She's been writing comics and stuff. And she's in talks to do some big things that are really fitting for this show. So I'm gonna drag her on here soon. Chat with her. She's just super cool and just a good person to chat with. We also run into somebody I've met. Excuse me, somebody I've met multiple times at cons and actually consider an acquaintance now is Ming Chen from Comic Book Man.
Yeah.
Who he's like one of the nicest people at conventions. He's really good at he remembers faces, don't remember everybody's name, but for some reason he remembers me usually. And
That makes you feel good.
And I went up and talked to him, and we're talking about doing a podcast. So hopefully at some point we get him on the show. But he did give us a glowing review.
Yeah.
It's a nice shout out, which jump on any of our social media, get on my TikTok. I posted that up there. So check out his little shout out he gave us. Like really, I went in with no plan. I figured I'd wander around. If I see anything cool, maybe I'd buy it. And of course I did buy a lot of shit that I need to buy, but like two of the biggest things I collect nowadays is vintage Star Wars figures and Famous Monsters magazine. I'm working on collecting all the the early, the Kenner lines from late 70s into the 80s of figures. Like I just want one of each figure. I want it to be a decent figure. I don't care if I have all the weapons or anything. I just want one, decent shape figure, one of each. That's it. I don't need the ridiculously priced variants. I just want one of each figure character. And I'm getting there, getting close. Now all the ones I need are just like the ones that are worth a couple $100, a few $100 or more.
And it's hard sometimes to break down and get those, and it's rough when you're like, oh, I know that is like the one figure that I need left to complete this, blank set or whatever. And
it's basically,
that you need to do it, but it's tough.
It's basically coming down to selling other stuff that I don't need no more.
Yeah.
To invest that money into this collection. So go find my eBay page. Everybody, go find my eBay and buy my other stuff so I could get new stuff for myself.
And if you're feeling generous and want to give away those Famous Monster magazines.
Yeah. Or those too. I found a few issues, and I also found met another comic shop, which I'm gonna dig out this card and kind of give them a little shout out on here because they were a cool shop and cool guys, and we were talking about potentially the Stephen Crypto show coming down and hanging out and doing a little event in their shop down in Tacoma. There's Stargazer Comics. In Tacoma, Washington, they have a website, stargazercomics.com. But they had a ton of cool shit and really good comics and really good prices in their booth. And they also had a whole bunch of Famous Monsters issues, which at that point, when I found their booth, I had already passed my budget. So it was like, fuck. So I'm going to go down to their shop and get to be buddies with these guys and see what kind of deals we could get. But it's also a cool shop because people like us in the Tacoma area more than they like us in our fucking hometown.
Yeah.
So it might be a cool thing. We connect with them and go down there and hang out at their shop for a couple hours and do a little event and have some fun and hype them and hype us.
You were saying you already passed your budget when you got to that point where you found those magazines. So everybody that's listening can relate to the fact that like it's hard to decide where you're going to spend your money at a convention. because you're seeing, homemade goods that you won't find elsewhere. You're finding art prints that you might want. There's the autographs and photos with the celebrities. There's so many different things. It's a struggle for anybody that's gone to a convention.
Yeah. I have a I'll ask you yours in a second, but I have a approach I like to take for conventions. Like my first step when I get there is I walk the floor and take a look at things and see what catches my eye. And then while I'm doing that, of course, if I go to a convention here in the Northwest, I usually know a lot of people. So I'm usually stopping and chatting for a few minutes here and there. So I make that first round and I got my budget in mind. And so I have to think. I stop, I go grab another coffee or something, and I think, like, okay, this is how much money I got. And these were like the 8 items I saw that I need. And only 4 of them fit in my budget. So I got to decide which ones work. And then sometimes there's like multiple in one booth. You could usually go and talk some kind of a deal, allowing you to get something else. So it's like, that's my approach. I walk the floor, say hi to everybody, keep my eyes open for things, and then figure out in my head what works in the budget, what I can get. And then go back and hopefully other people didn't buy the shit I want. But if they don't, I get what I can.
Yeah. My approach is pretty similar. I rattle numbers in my head of, what things cost. I also will walk the floor and kind of analyze things briefly and then try to go back around another time and look at things a little better than I did before, and also end up talking to people that we've met before or just making new friends. One thing that I wanted to say about SummerCon in particular is I really enjoy the fact that they reveal the photo and autograph price for most of the celebrities in advance, because you might go to a convention with a couple $100 in your pocket and then you buy a couple things off the vendor floor and you're like, oh shit, I wanted to get an autograph from so and so, and they're a lot more than I thought they were going to be. Like we've both gone to many conventions where you might think about in advance, like, oh, this person might charge this much or that much, and then you get there like, holy shit, it's double what I had in my head, or much more than that, and it just depends on the guest. Sometimes you'll be surprised and you'll go and some people are charging less than you would think.
My mind was blown. Like, no offense to Grant Gustin, he's a good actor. He was good on the Flash series, but like, tell me why the fuck his autograph costs more than Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh my god, really?
That was weird. Like, maybe he was only there one day, but I don't know.
They were revealing prices on the website, so it's not really a big deal for you to say. Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember the prices. I just remember it was
more than Vince.
Substantially more. Yeah.
Jeez.
I actually had a minute to chat with Vince and actually meet him and say hi for a minute. But
I'm jealous of you.
I interrupted.
I would love. You. No, it's fine. But yeah, I appreciate that they reveal the price in advance, so you have some time to plan for it. You can look on SummerCon's website and they'll show you so and so is charging this much for an autograph, for a photo, for a combination of both, and then you can go there prepared to spend, a decent amount of money depending on what you want. And back on like people charging less than you would think. We've been surprised in the past, and I know like when we met Jay Muse one of the times was at SummerCon, and he was charging less than you would think at the time. And I recall like you getting an autograph. No, you got a photo and I got an autograph, And then Jay just hollered at me and asked if I wanted to get in some photos as well. And we just kind of got a deal on that.
See,
So
that's the thing about him is like, you even go to like one of their shows, he's gonna hang out anyways and sign 1,000,000 autographs. So there's
Yeah.
like, he don't really see any point in charging a ridiculous amount because his autograph is out there anyways.
oh
And
yeah,
he's got to
I
sign
mean,
it for free if the convention wasn't making him charge.
should I have like 4 different things signed by him, something like that?
Yeah,
So
yep, multiple,
and
Made
only
him a
paid
few
for one of
times,
them,
yeah.
really.
Yeah, yeah,
But
it's crazy.
yeah. For anybody that's listening that like hasn't gone to a con, you just be prepared, and if you're lucky, you might be able to chat with some of these people, and like they might, like, the handlers might not want you to hear this, but if the handler's not around, you might get some special perks. So like I've approached a celebrity at a convention and they were by themselves and I had money in hand and I was like, "Oh, I forgot to get an autograph from you before I leave." And they were like, "Oh, don't worry about it, just pick one." So you never know.
I had that happen. It was at it was called Jet City at that time, Grit City now in Tacoma. They had Michael Berryman there. You know, like the chicken fucker from from the Rob Zombie movies. But he, you know, he's from like The Hills Have Eyes and just a ton of stuff. He's a very recognizable face in
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
But this was one of the nicest fucking people I've ever talked to. Not just celebrities, just one of the nicest fucking people I managed to have a conversation with. And like literally I went up to his table, started chatting. I didn't have an intent in buying anything, but I just chatting for a little bit because friend James, who runs a convention, was there talking to him, and they were just chatting. And he's like, "Oh, this is so and so," and next thing I know, it's like an hour later, and I'm still sitting there chatting with Michael and
Oh, that's
hearing
cool.
his stories and just talking about life and stuff. Like nothing, not even talking about, just having a conversation about things. And it was getting ready, time to go. And like, all right, well, hey man, it was great meeting you. And he's like, did you get an autograph? I was like, no, I he's like, here, which one do you want? And he just signed one and gave it to me. But he was just super cool.
Yeah.
And he's just one of the people that if I go to a show again and he's there, I'm just gonna go buy something from him just because he just made such a good impression. You know, you just
Right.
chill with him, have a good time with him, just like Ming Chen, good dude. You know, he's not a household name, but he's at these kind of shows, he's a celebrity.
Yeah.
And he's just a good dude and just, you know, just talks to everybody and just he's there. He's like one of us and just has a good time and enjoys it.
Yeah. Ming is like a staple celebrity for a couple cons. The main one that comes to mind that I know of is Astronomicon out there in Michigan. He's
Right.
been at several of them. And
I'm pretty sure he's been to this one like a few times. And he actually said, as busy as it is, he feels like there's a really strong chance that that Kevin and probably Jay might be here next year.
oh wow,
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool.
But I mean, he's not in charge of booking it or nothing. But
Right.
he said it's
not out.
it's a strong possibility now.
Yeah, it's not out of the question.
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be nice, man. Like I haven't met Kevin, and like we've met Jay 3 times, but I've been wanting to meet Kevin. It'd be nice.
yeah, that would be cool. Well, let's get Ming on the show and then then he'll be like, Kevin, these guys are the fucking coolest fucking guys ever, like he says in the little promo he cut for us.
Yeah, he wasn't lying.
No, he wasn't lying.
Ming wouldn't lie to you guys.
I'm sure he listens to us every day. Even the old
Yep.
he just keeps running through the episodes.
Yeah.
He's all the listeners besides like the 3 patrons. He's the rest of the listeners. But no, but seriously, he's a good dude. Like we were actually gonna record podcasts there, but that convention don't allow media people to bring in gear and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, but there was another group there that was gonna allow me to use their setup, but it got tight with time, and he had to go judge a cosplay contest, and so he couldn't do it. But we're almost gonna. Trying to think of the name of the company. I think it's Northwest Nerd. I think it's called. They have a show and they have a magazine out, and they're around at conventions and stuff. They seem like good people, and definitely gonna cross over with them at some point. Because I mean, that's the best way to grow is crossing over and supporting each other. And not trying to tear each other down or, tell one show's fans that they can't be part of this show and be part of my show. And, if you go on this show, then I'm going to block you from my show. And it's just kind of stupid.
Huh. I wonder what you might be talking about.
We're all independent fucking creators, and we should support each other rather than try to tear anybody down.
Still pondering on what you might be talking about.
Egos aside. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna I might end up in this movie soon, doing the few potential voice things I'm gonna be doing. So it's kind of exciting. I'll keep you guys in a loop on that. Don't want to say too much until things are for sure in there, but all the other movie stuff I mentioned is still happening. Nightmares Unleashed, I know he's still filming a little bit more on that. Not to segue into movie stuff, but
That's
movie
all right.
I'm producing, Nightmares Unleashed, MMH Productions, Matthew Mark Hunter is working on filming scenes for that, and I think he's going to start editing that soon. We will have Lloyd Kaufman in the movie. His part is already recorded and filmed and ready to rock. So,
did you get the real Lloyd Kaufman, or did you get that guy from the circus?
No, you got the fake Lloyd Kaufman. We got the real one.
Okay, just thought I would ask.
So that's cool. It's kind of cool to be like, hey, I'm a producer on a film starring Lloyd Kaufman. Like, that's kind of a cool thing to me.
Yeah,
'cause I'm a fucking nerd, and that's awesome. SummerCon. Circle back. I was I just lost my train of thought. They had this really cool Star Wars thing. It was like a Star Wars experience, and you got to go through and like take pictures with all like these giant like props and stuff they built, like local Star Wars groups and stuff, like really cool stuff. I posted a few pictures of it over at thestevestrout.com on a recent post, so you can see pictures, and I got put in like a Mandalorian jail and stuff, and that was pretty neat.
Oh, that's cool. I gotta go check that out.
But yeah, my thought I just lost, and it just came back. Our friend Addison Binnick, he had the campaign for Psycho Ape 2.
Yeah.
And they just went over their $10,000 goal.
I saw that.
So they're working on their next goal. But at fucking SummerCon, I was sitting, taking a little break, eating a slice of fucking Fairgrounds pizza because it's actually pretty damn good. And I seen this dude go zipping by with a yellow shirt, and I looked quick, and I saw this fucking dude was wearing a Psycho Ape shirt.
Yeah.
So like I had to scarf down my pizza real quick, and I like spent the next half hour like searching the whole fucking convention trying to find
yelling
this dude.
Psycho Ape, Psycho Ape.
No, it was like weird. I was like, I finally found him. I was upstairs in one of the showrooms talking to trying to remember if I was talking to I've been talking to Mark Monlux, but I seen the dude again. I was like, Psycho Ape guy, I gotta go. I'll be right back. So I booked over and talked to him for a minute, and I was like, dude, I want to be a fucking weirdo, but I saw your shirt, And I've been stalking you around this convention for like the last hour. But how the fuck do you know Psycho Ape? He's like, oh yeah, he heard about it online and followed the dude. I was like, well, I'm friends with the filmmaker, and we've had him on our show a couple times, and
Yeah.
I need to get a picture to show him this, and he's gonna like be fucking super hyped about it. And
Yeah.
so I track him out. Now he's a follower of our show and digs what we do too. So that's cool.
Cool.
That's cool. That's how we want. What we're making the Stephen Crypto Show somebody's third favorite podcast, one motherfucker at a time. That's what we call it. One motherfucker at a time. That should be a t-shirt too. One motherfucker.
Winning people over one motherfucker at a time.
One goddamn motherfucker at a time.
So before we get too far away from SummerCon talk, you said that you talked to Vince D'Onofrio for a minute, right?
Just for a second.
Kind of sweetened him up with a little bit of sugar water and got him to talk.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I ran into. You remember Kristen that we met at Crypticon? Follow her to show. She dressed up as the Night of the Comic character and stuff. I ran into her there.
Oh, cool.
Like she flew down to get some of her Laserdisc signed by like D'Onofrio and Jesse Ventura and stuff. And I was talking to her for a minute, and she was like, "I'm just about to go meet D'Onofrio." I'm like, "Shit, well, I'll come with you to say hi." And I was like, you look at his characters, and he's all just like, he's such like a kind of like a method actor, and he just always seems so deep into the character. Like, I almost felt like, damn, he's going to be kind of hard to approach.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in some heavy hitting titles, man. Like my favorite of all time, of course, is Edgar, Men in Black, and then you got Full Metal Jacket. You have Jurassic World. Was Law and Order, right?
Yeah.
I know I'm forgetting
fucking Daredevil, man.
Daredevil.
Yeah, I just was like, dang, is he like? I just felt like he'd be kind of weird to approach, like almost standoffish. But that fucking dude was like chill and super friendly.
Yeah.
Like she brought up the Laserdisc collection, her Laserdisc, and he was just like fucking. He's like, cool, I collect Laserdisc too. And he's like, I got 10,000. He's like, I got this rare print of like Psycho and Snap. And he was talking about something he just filmed it. Like, I think he said Ethan Hawke or somebody, but it was cool. And he was just cool. And he's like, how's your weekend going? And this and that. And just handshake. And he was just friendly. Like, damn, I did not expect that. It kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Probably would have said more, but I just kind of stood there like, holy crap, this is Vincent fucking D'Onofrio, who is like a top-notch fucking actor. Not just, just some goofball like that has gigs because his friends are making movies or something. He's like a fucking legitimate performer.
Oh yeah.
Not knocking anybody, but I just see him as one of those people that are just like a larger than life actor.
Yeah, he's a hell of an actor, man.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to meet him one day and wish I could have gone.
Well, hopefully he had a good time at the convention and does more cons.
Yeah, hopefully so. He doesn't do that many, or at least from what I've noticed. And so it was cool to have him this close to home.
Yeah.
That's definitely a guy that I'm sure he's busy as hell, but that would be like a dream guest to have on. Because I just want to talk to him about that Edgar character, I want to know more about it.
I think that was my only, you mentioned that was my only thing with this convention was they put out these maps, but they were just like maps of the inside of the venue where the tables are and everything, so you didn't know where the fuck each building was. And it didn't really tell you. So I missed some bigger panels because I didn't know where the fuck this other building was, because most of the stuff was like one direction in the fairgrounds, but then this
Yeah.
other bigger building was kind of off in another area where the big panels were. So I kind of fucking missed him, and I disappointed. 'Cause I wanted to go to his panel.
Okay, so he had one. Who else had panels?
Just about everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I didn't really go to any panels. I sat for like 5 minutes of John Wesley Shipp's panel, who is the Flash in the '90s Flash series. And I
Okay.
think he played like his dad in this series. Or he was
Yeah, they
something.
were doing a duo photo op, right? With him and Grant.
They might have been. They might have been.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really. I honestly didn't pay that much attention to guests and photo things and stuff because I wasn't really there for any of that. I just
Yeah.
knew I was going to go talk to Ming because we're acquainted. I know I was going to talk to Anna Mia because we're con buddies for a long time. I did make it a point. I had to go stop and say hi to Adam Cole, the wrestler.
That's another one I was going to mention is I think you went to the you went and met the mother's favorite wrestler, right?
Yeah. Burr. Adam Cole,
Yeah.
burr. But yeah, that was it. It's a good show, man. But yeah, that's really what we've been doing. Getting ready, kind of brainstorming on stuff for future episodes. Thinking about Halloween, which we always kind of try to go all out for the Halloween episode. And we hype shit out of that. And if you listening have or know of like a small business that kind of specializes in spooky and Halloween theme kind of stuff that might want to have us promote them or advertise them on the show, hook it up, connect them with us because we're like super cheap and we want to help spread the word about these companies and get them some business in time for spooky season.
Yeah, we're definitely we're always open to sponsors and people that want to spread the word about their product, and especially if it's spooky themed. But
hell yeah,
I mean, lots of just pop culture stuff in general, but extra points if you guys find something out there that is in the spooky spectrum, and we would love to let people know about it.
Yeah, I really want to push it hard leading into fall and my favorite time of year.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before we go, I don't know if you've been watching any good movies lately in your spare time that you want to mention, but I rewatched Becky over the weekend, which if you guys listening haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. I thought it was really fun. It's kind of like a more mature Home Alone in a way. I mean, I say Home Alone because there's like traps involved, and there's like the chase and traps, but
like a trap house.
not quite like that. But there's a little girl that is staying at a cabin with her father, and there's a guy that breaks out of prison, and he's after a key that was left there at the home. They don't know what the hell what he needs it for. They don't really know what he's after. And then he finally tells them. And so there's a struggle with that. Anyway, a while back, I read online that they were working on a sequel. And so as far as I knew, it was just in the works, in production. Turns out it's already out. I don't know how long it's been out, but it's available now on Prime. You can watch The Wrath of Becky. And the villain in the first one was Kevin James. And the villain in this new one is Sean William Scott. So it's kind of cool to see some characters that are like kind of out of their element. I've always enjoyed that, actors that just do something different they're not known for. Right. So yeah, if you guys are looking for something new to watch, go check out Becky and The Wrath of Becky.
More like new to you.
Yeah. Well, The Wrath of Becky's brand new.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like horror, like horror comedy, or?
It's definitely horror, suspense.
Right.
There's some comedy in it, but yeah, it's a bloody film for sure. They're both a bloody good time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't really watched anything besides what we've talked about on Patreon. I did go watch the new Indiana Jones. I'm not going to say too much. Hopefully, you get to see it very soon, so we can talk about it and spoil it. But I'll just say it was a great, fitting ending, a great adventure, a great way to go out for, not go out like he died, but I mean, just go out for the series.
Yeah.
For Indiana Jones. I enjoyed it. Anybody say anything bad about it could fuck off. It was a fun fucking movie.
I gotta say, I have
it.
been hearing a lot of mixed reviews.
People
So
bitch just a bitch.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna check it out, but I am a little bit hesitant. So I'm hoping it's better than what I've been hearing.
It is.
Cool.
Promise. Guarantee it. Better than Becky.
What?
Yep. If you like Indiana Jones, you'll like this movie. If you don't, then
what's your favorite one of the series?
The first one.
First one. Okay.
Yeah.
Temple of Doom has always been my favorite, which I heard is like a least favorite for a lot of folks. But
I think the least favorite is Crystal Skull is probably everybody's least favorite.
That one's
I like the first one. They were all enjoyable and entertaining, and that's the fucking point of movies, is to escape and be entertained for a couple hours. If you can't let yourself do that, then fucking
my dad introduced those movies to me when I was a kid, and that might be part of it, is why I love Temple of Doom so much, was at the age that I watched it, because you're impressed as a young kid. You're impressed by like people pulling hearts out of their chest and, you know, eating eyeball soup and monkey brains and shit like that. Yeah. Like, this movie's weird. I like it.
Yeah, it's just like an adventure. Who doesn't love an adventure?
Yeah.
Especially watching one so you don't have to get fucked up yourself. You could just...
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not eating monkey brains, but I'll watch these guys do it.
With that being said,
speaking of monkey brains,
for us to go and
gotta wrap it up.
Make dinner and feed the family or something. But yeah.
Are you cooking monkey brains?
Yes, I am. Eyeball stew.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah.
I know I'm not coming over to your house tonight.
They make new Impossible eyeballs.
they're not human eyeballs. They're made from peas.
They're plant-based monkey brains for my yeah. Anyways.
Hey, this is Dr. Gangrene. You're watching the Steve. No, you're not. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show right here on whatever network you're on. I don't know what you're on. Don't ask me. I can't see what you're doing, but keep listening and tune in next week for more cool content on the Steve and Crypto Show.
Go to Patreon, patreon.com/SteveCrypto. Go to buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto. Go to the group on Facebook. Just search the Steve and Crypto Show podcast. Follow CryptoZoo88. Follow the Steve Strout.
Leave us a review.
Leave us a rating and review.
Go check out the Den Network.
The Deluxe Edition Network.com.
Yep.
Go to thestevestrout.com and see some of the pictures from SummerCon. I posted a few up there. And
ParanormalCirc.com. Check that out.
That thing too. And that new Indiana Jones movie. And just have a good week. Have a good week. It's a holiday week as of right now. So
yeah, we're recording this on the 3rd.
Hopefully you get an extra day off, get to relax. And
play this tomorrow at your barbecue while you're getting ready for the fireworks. No. I'm sure all the family would love to listen to a podcast.
Just listen to it and then make them all listen to it individually.
There you go.
So we get the numbers on the show.
Yeah. No free listens. Don't be listening with a group of people that haven't, put in the numbers yet. No free listens.
Make sure they subscribe on their own Spotify account.
You listen to it with headphones in. Nobody else can hear it.
Anyways, this has been your third favorite podcast, the Steve and Crypto Show. Thank you guys for listening.
All right. Signing off. I'll catch you on 121. Peace.